Well, hello, ladies. Welcome back to the podcast. I want to have another conversation. I want to talk about that ageless routine for us Black women, us women over 40. I just want to have the conversation. I wrote down some things here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything because I like to make sure I give all the value that I possibly can. But before we get into that, how are you doing? What's going on, how things been going. I'm doing much better. The last time we actually spoke, I had the flu, but I'm feeling better. I'm good. The stuffiness is gone. I don't have any of that going on anymore. I am so happy. I tell you one thing, being sick, it will take you down. But guess what? We back. So let's get into it. What is that ageless routine? We're going to talk about daily habits for the glowing skin, wellness, and confidence because the climate that we're in right now as Black women, we need to just like really cultivate together. This is just my opinion. If I'm saying anything different, leave it down below. Let me know. Okay. But I want to talk about ageless routine, especially for the skincare and skincare and in overall in wellness because I recently changed my skincare routine because I was using a product, well, I was using a line before, and if I use a line too long, my skin doesn't respond to it. I have to change up. Then I can go back to it, but I have to change because my skin is like, look here, we done got all we can get from this. Give me something new and I'll give you some more reaction. So right now I've changed. If you have not seen my vlog. For those of you who are listening, I do have a YouTube channel, and if you are watching, go ahead and check out my previous vlog where you can see what my skincare is. What is it about? If I'm saying it right, what I'm using at the moment. So I'll share a little bit as we're talking, but first let's talk about having a morning routine that can really bring out the best in us, that can really make us feel radiant, all the things. What does that look like? I've mentioned before in previous conversations that we talked about, like, in the morning, don't just jump up, and then starting your day, getting it ready for the next person or the next organization. Pour into yourself first. Get that cup full with a little bit of running over so you can use that running over for the outside. Sometimes we get up. I know we might sleep a little longer, but try to I know easier said than done. But what I've been doing and what has been easier for me, I allow myself to wake up with ease. I allow myself to not just jump up like I used to, go into the bathroom, use the restroom, going for the brushing the teeth, hopping in the shower, putting on my clothes, telling my daughter to get up, let's go. Just the house is straight frantic. Okay. I was there. It's open because my kids even had told me, you used to be yelling, carrying on, because that's how my environment was. That's how my life was. You give out what you got. And if you ain't got nothing, that's what you pour on. So once I started pouring into myself, I saw how things change. I'm not yelling. I go in there, hey, get up. They got their alarms too. But sometimes you gotta always be on the back end, like, hey, get up. So now I don't gotta do that anymore. I'm so lucky. And oh wow, today my daughter, we're gonna celebrate. My daughter got accepted to college. I am such a proud mom. She got accepted to the college that she wanted. So we're just gonna be celebrating from here on to graduation because I'm a proud mom. Both my daughters are college students. Well, my oldest, she's a graduate, but my baby, she'll be a college student as well. And they mama, so the leaf don't fall too far from the tree, as they say. But nevertheless, you know, get up, make it easy. But what I have here is start your day with hydration. I do keep water by my bedside. I wanted to order something on Amazon. It's like this like a jug with a top, but the top turns into a cup, and you can like have some water in the morning. This neutral water. It doesn't have to be cold or anything like that. But what I've been doing is have like them thermal jugs, and I'll have water in that, and I would drink that in the morning. It doesn't even matter if you're just waking up and you ain't go brush. This is your cup, okay? Hydrate yourself because we do get dehydrated in the middle of the night, sweating, not sweating. So as soon as you get up, take it easy, sit back, relax, and then go ahead. Get you some water, hydrate yourself. Start your day nice and simple. And having a good morning routine, you know, putting that skincare in there. I think skincare is so important. I know some of us, skincare is not important. Back in the day, my great aunt, she used ivory soap and water. And I tell you, she had the best skin. When she passed away, they barely had to put any makeup on her because her skin was so impeccable. It's just amazing how back in the day, there was no, really no skincare routine. They might have been one, but my aunt didn't have all that kind of money to go buy whatever they had going on. She had foundation. She used Fashion Fair, but for the most part, a skincare, it was Ivory soap. Ivory soap did um, the dishes. It's what you washed up with, and it was your beauty bar. It was all in one. So, but have a good skincare routine. Nowadays, there's so many things out there for us that can help with the needs that we have. If it's hyperpigmentation, if it's open pores, or whatever it might be, or dry skin, there's so much out there for us. Have a good skincare routine. So, I have here, something that is suitable for you. What works for me may not work for you. Even though I may have dry to normal skin, you may have that normal skin, but you may have hyperpigmentation, or you may have a pore situation that you want to take care of, or you may have maybe some acne or whatever. Do what is suitable for you. There's so much information out here these days that we can really pour into ourselves. Sometimes something simple as skincare can make us feel so much better, and creating these routines for us as we that woman, you know what I mean? So, pour into yourself, pour into yourself. Next up, a mindset practice. We can do all this skincare, wake up slow, but while we doing that skincare, we could be saying little good words of wisdom to ourselves, affirmations, having them on the mirror, something that I do. There's so many different ways that you could actually pour into yourself and have that good morning routine. And, last but not least, making some movement. I really want to start working out in the middle of the day. I do my workouts in the evenings, but I really want to do it more so in the middle of the day. Like, I work from home. So those days that I work from home, my workouts are only 45 minutes. I get my sets in and I call it a day. There's no need to prolong anything. So if I'm doing something from home, if I'm watching maybe something on YouTube, on my mat doing some free weights, or if I'm going into the gym and I'm doing something, 45 minutes is all you need. Okay? That's all you need. That's all you need. So let's kind of recap that piece. Staying hydrated, having a good skincare routine. And this is for the morning routine, okay? And we just making routines for us that help us be that ageless woman, okay? And we're going to do mindset and motivation. Next up, we have midday, okay? We need to boost. We need to boost ourselves up. I think I talked about this before in one of my previous episodes, but this one here is that midday boost, okay? This midday boost is like, we're going to focus more on meals. I know for me, I'm not really a breakfast person, but I do feel you should put something in your stomach, something light. Um, if it's, for those who can handle dairy, maybe some yogurt. I'm so proud of myself. I'm not that heavy hardcore drinker. I will never sit and say I will never drink coffee again because I'll be lying. But in regards to having like a full cup of coffee and then going back for that second one, I don't do it. And that's more so for health reasons, because I had to really, really look at what was going on, because we can look so good on the outside. And I am a small frame woman. I'm not big by any means, but you could be the tiniest of the tiniest and still have a bunch of health issues going on. And you can be someone who may be maybe on the plus size, and the next thing you know, you have no issues going on. So we have to take care of ourselves. So a midday boost for wellness is, having a very nourishing meal, something that's kind of like on um some enriched meals that you can actually eat. Example, something with, I can't get, I'm about to go too fast. Omega-3s, which is salmon, chicken, turkey. Red meat, believe it or not, is really, really hard on the body. Not saying you can't have it, but red meat takes longer to digest than chicken, fish, and believe it or not, pork. Pork is easy to digest. So yeah, we gotta have and we gotta put the leafy greens in there, sweet potatoes, and I mentioned salmon, and definitely nuts. I Love me some good nuts. I can eat walnuts. I like pecans. I like peanuts. I keep peanuts by my desk at home. And when I go to work, I always put something in a Ziploc bag because that helps curb your appetite when you have like fiber and protein. So it took me a minute to actually adapt to it, but you always have to have something to drink because chewing peanuts and walnuts and pecans and Brazilian nuts, all that stuff, you gotta have water, some type of beverage, You gotta have a beverage. But and skincare touch-ups. I started doing this. I don't have it in here with me to actually share, but I would, if I'm wearing makeup and I'm out and about, if I'm going to work or if I'm out, during the day, touching up your makeup before I would never do that. Whatever how my makeup looked, I would only touch it, maybe my lipstick. But actually touching up your actual makeup during the day, like, making sure your under eye looks good, making sure you're not too greasy or you're going to do like your little plotting, pat in your face, if you will, that really like makes you feel good because like you're pouring into yourself. Yes, it may be vanity, but you're still pouring into yourself. So I have like the Fenty blotting powder, y'all. Game changing. You don't have to use that one. There's so many other brands out there, but just the fact that if you're out and you just like tapping in and pouring into yourself, even putting on lipstick, it makes you feel good. Your lip gloss, just to spruce yourself up, makes you feel really, really good. That's just a tip that I'm throwing in there. Now we're gonna move on to the evening. Skincare again. Skincare again. This is for us, and what I'm talking about when I'm focusing more on face, mental, interior, because when we think about ageless, for me and like daily habits on building confidence, when you feel so good inside, it will exude on the outside. Some people may think, oh, I'm buying a new wardrobe. I'm going to go and get a new degree. I feel like for me, it's like the small things will make you feel so much bigger on the outside. Just like literally pouring into yourself, something that doesn't cost a ton of money, something that's just going to make you, oh, how can I say it? Just feel good. Sometimes the little things make you feel good. This is for lack of better words. But we're going to go back in. We're going to use our evening routine to kind of restore ourselves from our day because we still going on through our day now. Our day, we working a job, tending to these children, spouse, significant others, whatever it might be. Tending to yourself, dealing with the world, you still have to find ways to pour into yourself. And you may sit and say, Kelly, skincare is normal. We're supposed to be cleaning our face regardless. Yes, but when you actually incorporate doing something for yourself and you actually carving out time for it, that's self-care, self-love. I'm telling you the smallest things. But we're going to sit back, do some skincare again, and that's when we're going to pour in and we're going to add like some retinol because even though we may not have had that back in the day, it doesn't stop you from aging, but it can slow the process down. It won't. I know for me, if you get a fine line, it may not be as deep. It still might be there, but it definitely, takes it away. I have not tried Botox. And I would never say I will not try it, but I would have to have a lot of sessions and knowing what it is because I've seen so many people who, and it doesn't matter what culture, nationality, where you come from, I see it from both ends. If you have Botox, it can spread, it can make your face look totally different. And I'm not for that, okay? I think I'm aging pretty well and I want to stay on track. I want to stay on track. I'm going to do a vlog. I want to start like a little series about, turning 49 and like understanding where I am and going into my 50s and how I even feel and see now in myself where I'm pivoting in my life, doing things different, wanting to be more in the community, wanting to be more just surrounding myself with like-minded people, if that makes any sense. So now we got to focus on us. We got to wind down. We got to wind down a little bit. What does that look like? Sometimes we come home and we run into these children, run into the spouse. We trying to get dinner going. We might be caretakers. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Tell everybody you need some moments to yourself, however that might look. You might need an hour, you might need 15 minutes, but whatever it is that you might need, You need to take it. And that's just it. You just need to take it. So what does that look like? That looks like, coming home, taking off your clothes, being able to use the bathroom without being interrupted, changing into something. You might want to sit back and journal. Shoot, you might want to have a glass of wine. Whatever that looks like for you, take it, because you have to pour into yourself. You have to. You might want to have a herbal tea. You might not want to have the little alcoholic beverage. Right now I'm doing me a little cleanse right now. I haven't had a cocktail since June, but not, you hear me lying. I haven't had a cocktail since December, but um, you can. That was funny to me. I just started rattling off. But I haven't had a cocktail since December. I did have a shot in January, but we ain't counting that. I'm just being transparent. We're not counting that. But you might want to have a herbal tea just for relaxation, because sometimes, again, pouring into yourself before you pour into others, and letting people know that you may not even be able to cook dinner tonight. You may have to have some leftovers. You may have to go make you a bowl of cereal, make you some tuna fish, make you a sandwich, whatever, or a hot dog. We know those meals, those in between meals. I know I do. I tell my family in a minute, it ain't happening tonight. Like, today's Friday. I cooked yesterday. So if I don't want to cook tonight, we have leftovers. But if I don't want to go out and buy anything, we have leftovers. If I don't want to do anything, we got hot dogs. We got ground beef. Make yourself some homemade burgers. Those are always good. You know what I mean? Tuna, like I mentioned, there's always something to eat. Go get some ramen. There's always something to eat. And then when we get that, you set your boundaries, as I mentioned, letting people know what you're doing for yourself. And last but not least, on your evening routine, how sometimes, us women, going through perimenopause and things like that, or going through menopause, we can have hot sweats, we can be insomnia, all these things that happen with us as we get to these certain ages over 40, or even before 40, these things can happen. You have to find ways to make your sleep better, because sometimes us not having good sleep can definitely affect us later on. Some ways that can help you have good sleep: blackout curtains. I never forget. I don't have blackout curtains now because your girl is good. But if I have to go back to that, I would definitely go get me some blackout curtains. I got blackout curtains a couple of years back, and it helped me with my sleeping. It helped me just go ahead and get to that zone, because sometimes your mind just be racing so much. You might need a little bit of help. Another thing that you can do is white noise. Hearing that can help you. Or rain, if you like rain. YouTube can help you with that. Let me tell you something. You can go on YouTube and ask for any sound you want. You want fireplace crackling, you want candle crackling, and may not want the light. Turn your phone off, keep that on, put it underneath your pillow, and go for it. I'm telling you, these little small things help. I'm telling you, I have used them. So in saying all of that, I want to recap. What we talked about in regards to hydration, nutrition, mindfulness, skincare, and rest. Ladies, we have to embrace aging, especially for us women, us Black women over 40, because sometimes we get into that superwoman mode and we forget about ourselves. We are that woman. We are the it woman, and we are creating a routine for us that will better us, so we can do things that we want to do. Because I can sit here and think about, there's so many different things that I want to do, but sometimes your inside ain't right. You just tired, you just this. And sometimes when we actually pour into ourselves, it will make you feel better. Okay? Make you feel better. So in saying all of that, don't forget to check out social media. Your girl up there, iamKeliB. We do have a Instagram for We Age Graceful. And also we got Facebook for those of you who may not be on those other platforms. And if not, we here on the good old YouTube. And if you want to hear the audio, you in your car, check us out on Apple, what is it called? Wait, hold on one second here. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. We are all up there, girl. YouTube, we are up there. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next episode. I truly appreciate each and every one of you.